In this video, we'll discuss how to execute a DBT cloud job and then download a query from Snowflake as a CSV. Let's dive in. So jumping into Shipyard here, we want to start off with our DBT cloud blueprints. So I'm going to search for those, and then when you see that we have an execute job blueprint here, I'm going to click that. So that's going to pop up an authorization guide here. So if this is your first time using DBT Cloud and Shipyard together, it'll be good to go through that authorization guide to find where I'm going to get all the values that I'm about to put in. I'm going to close that for right now. I'm going to pull this up and name this vessel execute DBT Cloud job. Okay, so for a DBT Cloud job, we need a service token. So I'm going to grab that. And then an account ID and a job ID. So I can go up here and we grab these from the URL in DBT. So there's our account. And then we also have our job, which is going to be right here next to jobs in the URL. Go back and paste that in there as well. Inside of Shipyard, you can set up email notifications for your vessels. I'm going to keep it as its default, which it's default to the person who made the fleet for any error. And there's also guardrails that we'll fix in just a moment. Okay, so there's our first vessel. So now we need a second vessel for DBT Cloud that's going to check the run status. So again, there's that authorization guide. I'm going to close it. I'm going to name this vessel check run status. So what this is going to do, so that first vessel is going to start the DBT Cloud job, and the second vessel is going to check and see when it's finished. So I'm going to need the same service token from before. So I'm going to copy and paste that in. The same account ID, and the run ID we can leave blank. That'll grab it from that that upstream vessel that we have. So I can connect those together. And then for guardrails here, I want this thing to continue to retry, and there be no time between retries. So it's going to keep retrying. So it's going to keep checking with DBT if the run is finished, and it's not going to wait any time. So it's going to check yes or no. If it comes back with a no, it's going to check again, and it's going to keep checking that way. So that vessel's good to go. And so now we can do our Snowflake vessel here. So we want to store query results as a CSV. So after this data is transformed, we can pull the data in as a CSV. So store query as CSV there. We'll name that. Then we just need all of our Snowflake information that we get from our authorization guide again. So our username, grab the password, our account name, our warehouse, database, our schema, and the query. Let me grab that query real quick. Let's grab a little sample query here. I'm going to limit it to 50 values. And then we can name this test.csv. Looks like we're good to go there. So we can connect all those together. So now looking for our full fleet here. So we have the first vessel is going to execute the job. If it's successful in executing, it's going to check the run status. So whenever the run is complete or failed, it's going to stop that second vessel. So we want it to be successful. So when it's successful, it's then going to go to Snowflake and grab that data and store it as a CSV. Okay, so it looks like it's good to go there. Let's name our fleet, DBT Cloud to Snowflake. And let's save and finish. And this is going to take us to a page telling us that the fleet has been created successfully, as you see here. Then I can click Run Your Fleet. When I click Run Your Fleet, it's going to schedule it to run immediately. Inside of Shipyard, we call this an on-demand run. So anywhere that you see that in the documentation, that's what we're getting at. So anytime you're working with a fleet inside of Shipyard, whether any of these tabs here, there'll be a purple Run Now button on the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's going to always kick off an on-demand run for you. So that's automatically going to kick off that run. There's two other ways to start a fleet run inside of Shipyard using the triggers tab here. So we have a scheduling trigger, and then we also have an API trigger to programmatically kick off these fleet runs as well if you'd rather do that. So you can see whenever we do an on-demand fleet run, this takes us over to the fleet log, which gives us a live output of what's happening in the fleet run. So you can see our execute DBT Cloud job is already finished. I can click into that, and you can see the values that we set, as well as the API key being hidden. So someone can't pop into your logs and look at that value. You can see our account ID and job ID that we set earlier, and you can see that it kicked off that job on that account. So we go back to our fleet log. You can see that second vessel has kicked off and is red because it failed. So any of our check run status or check sync status or any of those check status vessels, you shouldn't be alarmed if you get a red one back. That generally is going to mean that it went and checked with the software, and the software said, hey, it's not finished yet. So that's definitely the case here. You can see it kicked off the second time, like I mentioned earlier with the guardrails. It retried, and now it's green. So now that run is completely done and successful inside have DBT. So now we can start our Snowflake vessel, which you can see is already started. And so whenever I can click inside of that, and you can see that it's going to load this output for us in just a moment whenever it finishes. So it should take just a moment to finish and download that data. So once that data is downloaded, you can send it off with email or Slack. You can take it into cloud storage as well. You can see it's finished. I can click into that, and you can see that it successfully stored the query results as test.csv. So if you wanted to do anything downstream inside of your fleet using that data, you would call it test.csv. In this video, we discussed how you can kick off a DBT cloud run and then take data from Snowflake and store it as a CSV. If you have any questions about this solution or how you can use Shipyard in your organization, use the link in the description to set up a time to chat with our team of data experts. If you want to see more tutorials like this one, check out these related videos.